Alright, if you are watching this video, it is because in the independent practice, you got one of them incorrect. So what I'm going to do is help you out a little bit because you should have already taken your notes here. And what I want you to do is you're going to go back to your work and check if you did each step correct. So it says Matthew scored a total of 30 points in the basketball season. That is the whole, that is my total, that is the initial value here. Okay, and so the total is 30. Now he scored 12 of those points in the regular season. So his final, in terms of regular season, his final score, which is the part, was 12. Okay, so the first thing you should have is checked, okay, did I identify my whole and my part correctly? Second, you need your equation. Did you in your notes write down the equation? Part equals, we know it's the percent multiplied, which we put parentheses for, the whole, right? And we're going to substitute. So the next thing is you need to check, well, did you substitute correctly? So the part is 12 equals, we have the percent, which is x, and the whole, which is 30. And like I said before, we're used to having the coefficient on the left side of the variable. And the next step is we divide because we want to figure out how much would be 1x. So we get 1x equals 12 divided by 30. And since we have our amazing calculator here, let's do 12 divided by 30. And what we get is 0.4. So, if you did something like 4%, that is incorrect because you need to turn this into a percentage, and 4% is not 4/10. Like, no. That would be 400ths. Okay, 4% means 400ths. This is 4/10. Second, if you did 0.4%, that is also a no-no because this is just 4/10. This is not 4/10%. Now, if you got 2.5%, that means you divided incorrectly, which you should have already seen in your work. So here, we need to turn 4/10 into a percent, so I multiply by 100. And remember, when you multiply by 100, you move the decimal place to the right twice because this is multiplied by 100. Anytime you multiply by a decimal, you are moving it by 10. So that's times 10, which means if I'm turning 0.4, 4/10 into a percent, I need to move this twice, which means here, if I have 4/10, 1 would be 4, twice I'm going to add a 0, that's going to give me 40%. That's the first thing you need to do and check, okay? Now, the other one, right here, I'm not going to go over all of it because at this point, you should be able to identify the mistake that you're making. But number 2, again, you should have the part, the percent, and the whole already written down. And you should be identifying them correctly. So let's check if you did. Curtis missed 5 darts that missed the bullseye. He threw a total of 20 darts. What is the percentage that missed the bullseye? So he throws 20. That's the total. That's the whole. That's, we're going to just say initial. And his final score is he misses at least 5. Okay, so that's the part. And when you plugged into your equation, you should have had 5 equals 20x. Divide. So what I want you to do is make sure that your work actually has this. Now, your answer, remember, if you get 25 hundredths as your answer, you need to really be aware that you converted your decimal correctly. So what I want you to do is make sure to look at your notes over here to see if you truly converted, if you got this mistake number 2 wrong, the decimal correctly, if you did all of these steps correct.